Hi, we're Ralph and Lahni back with another episode of Planetary Calendar, and this time we're going to talk about September 2020.
Yes, September. Kids back in school, people back to work. The forecast. First with lunations. The month starts gently with an uncomplicated Virgo Pisces full moon on the 1st. Dreamy but hardworking. Then the fun begins. Over 2 weeks, multiple personal planets change signs, shifting calculations and perspectives about intimate connections. Venus opposes Saturn, carefully balancing personal comfort and fiscal discipline prevents future anxiety. Express your need for compassionate action through community cooperation. On the 17th, the Virgo new moon trines Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn, which inhibits expenditures. When spending money, don't be surprised if your inner voice says, no. Mars retrograde in Aries creates feelings of frustration. Share your feelings dramatically. When encountering restrictions, don't let them inspire innovation, or let them inspire innovations. Be emotionally flexible and practically disciplined. Now, the days to watch. On the 5th, quick Mercury enters Libra, so decisions are going to require more time and discussion. On the 6th, Venus enters big-hearted Leo. On the 7th, the White Circle Day prompts optimism, genius, and inspiration. It's very good for storytelling. On the 9th, Mars turns retrograde in ruling sign Aries. This is very frustrating. On the 22nd, the Sun enters Libra, the first day of autumn, actively balance life's demands. The black box day on the 23rd says, take those big ideas and reduce them to human size. On the 27th, Mercury overcomes its indecision and moves into determined Scorpio, so enjoy the intensity.
Well, first of all, in keeping with Ralph's rule, the only White Circle Day in September is his birthday, the 7th, Sunshine Moon. So I don't know who you paid off, what planet you slipped a little extra to create that for yourself, with a lovely Taurus moon, which means I can make some yummy reservations for a celebration
And
for you.
coincidentally, Labor Day, too.
And Labor Day. It's like everything all rolled into one, just a big party.
It's the one holiday you know actually fits Labor Day, the day of working in the sign of Virgo.
There you go. There you go. But then I want to say about Mars going retrograde. You know, Mars doesn't go retrograde very often. It's a tough retrograde. Venus, when Venus goes retrograde, it's not that tough because she's an internalized energy. But when Mars and Mercury go retrograde, Mercury is frustrating to the nth degree, albeit. But Mars is physically difficult when Mercury goes when Mars goes retrograde.
And this is in rulership position.
Your energy can't really be directed outward, you know. So this is like internalizing anger and frustration, and trying to move forward and being thwarted at every kind of turn. So you really have to place heavy emphasis on meditations, like as this too shall pass. I mean, and use it for a time to sort of gather your energy, do things that will restore your energy, because Mars needs to have a break every once in a while too.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to take some energizing supplements or build up your immunity or all that part of what your energy is, add a little more fire to your energetic centers.
Well, it's interesting, too, that it's going retrograde on California's birthday, which is the 9th. California is a mission day, September 9th, 1850. So,
right.
But Mars, because Mars is in rulership in Aries, it's designed to be external. That we suggest that when you feel frustrated, let people know. Let them know in kind of a dramatic way. Don't hit anybody, but tell them dramatically so that you're able to express it in a martial way, and then let it blow over really quickly because it's Mars and Aries. It's not about vendettas. It's about volcanoes that blow up and get over it.
Right, and who gets hit hardest by those kinds of things? Mars ruled signs,
Yeah.
Scorpio and Aries.
Yep.
People with strong Aries or Scorpio in their chart, a highly elevated or well connected Mars in your chart. All these
Yeah.
things would make you more likely, because we hope we're not going to have a whole population of people
Right.
just,
No.
going combust with with the Mars going retrograde. But so you'll notice. And I think it's important to recognize that if the Mars retrograde doesn't particularly hit you very hard, maybe you have Mars in Cancer anyway, or Mars in Pisces, and you're used to that slightly internalized
Right.
manifestation of an outward bound energy, but use the information to realize that some people are going to require a little bit more patience and understanding, because it's tougher for them if they have these Mars things triggering in their chart a little bit more strongly.
Right. And so, as we say in the forecast, when the inner planets start changing sign and start changing direction, you feel that personally. The outer planets, well, that's out there someplace, but the inner planets, it changes sometimes your relationships with people. Your whole geometry of your personal relationships gets kind of shifted a bit. So, be
And that's
conscious of
why I
that.
said,
Be
take
flexible.
it as a word to the wise to kind of be more understanding of people who may be having more of a challenge with this than you are.
Yes, exactly.
Especially if you want them in your life afterwards.
Yeah, and there's a
Because it goes direct again.
yeah, and there's a bunch of things going on where Saturn and planets that are being in restrictive mode are making aspects to planets in Virgo and in Taurus. So it's enforcing this sense of be frugal, be a bit more austere. When you're thinking about, oh, should we buy that? Thinking, well, no, maybe not now. That caution is going to be very enforced this month. So when you hear those words whispering to you, don't tell them to shut up.
And if you do have the calendar, remember that you can look at page 29 where it has the table of all the retrogrades of the planets. So sometimes, a planet will go retrograde or direct within a month, and you can look it up in that little mini ephemeris that we give you. But if they take a longer time to go direct, Mars will be going direct November 13th at 4:35. So
Yeah, Mars goes retrograde the least of any planet, so it really sucks at it.
right. So, but that's a good 2 months of retrograde.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Just about when you're saying I can't take this anymore.
It goes retrograde every couple of years. It doesn't go retrograde every year, but every couple of years it goes retrograde.
It's funny. You get the sunshine moon on your birthday,
Yes.
and I get Mars going direct on mine. How's that?
Oh, wow. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh wow.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, interesting.
I don't think we called in any markers, but
No,
we
but-
do calculate all these figures.
Yes, true.
So maybe that's our reward.
So, what else is going on? We have,
Well, you have to look at that black box on the 23rd.
yeah.
The sun square moon, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
the biggest reason that there would be this black box on that day. But we've got a Mercury square Saturn. So
And
that's
then avoid a course all day.
avoid just about all of all of the business day.
But that Saturn square Mercury, that is an issue, because it's the youngest and the oldest. It's that kid in you and it's the adult in you being at cross purposes.
Well, and Mercury at that point is still in Libra, getting
Right.
ready to go into Scorpio.
Right.
And so it's that cardinal energy squaring, Saturn in Capricorn, which
Yeah.
is the ultimate, son versus father kind of
Yeah, and
energy.
And these are two planets that normally have a really good relationship. Mercury is exalted in Aquarius, the masculine sign of Saturn. It's like the natural cooperation and partnership you find between grandchildren and grandparents. Natural allies. The Mercury in Aquarius was because all grandparents think their grandchildren are brilliant.
They are.
Because Mercury in Aquarius is a very brilliant position, and so when they're square each other, it's not the most comfortable position for them, because it's Mercury in Libra, which is a position that only seems to take forever to make a decision.
Well, and we almost could have put a White Circle Day on the 26th, for Ralph's sun trine moon. But
Yes.
with that Uranus being a troublemaker there,
Mm.
and Uranus being the modern ruler of the moon in Aquarius,
Yeah.
that was just a little bit too much of a
Little-
potential for a little disruption there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he
when-
wanted
yeah.
to, but I wouldn't let him.
When the moon, when Uranus is square the moon, anytime Uranus is below the number, you always have to watch out for like emotional upsets that day.
Well, and think about it. If we're doing White Circle, Black Box, good day, bad day to begin a new project, Uranus is that quirky something that you didn't think of, And so that doesn't really allow for a very sort of measured decision about starting a new project or kicking something off. So
And the thing about Uranus
rather
is
wait
that
a day.
when Uranus acts up, a lot of times the stuff that seems to be coming out of the blue. Because Uranus you can only barely see every now and then from very high peaks at very dark nights. It's not an obvious energy. So stuff that you didn't kind of expect disrupts something.
Well, and don't forget that Uranus spins the opposite direction of any
Right.
of
It's
the
like
other
it's like a
planets.
football. Yeah.
And there's a lot of quirky things about. We saw a very interesting presentation about, an astronomical presentation about new facts about Uranus. It's just fascinating. So, I mean, I don't think you can be an astrologer. Well, for me, astrology is as much about the astronomy as about the astrology. So when they work together, it's just a brilliant tool for life. So
Well, if you think back, all of the great physicists of the past, Newton, Kepler, Bra, Galileo, these were all astrologers first and foremost, and right up into the 1800s, and there's still many more professional astrologers than there are astronomers. Astronomers are a very small population. There's a lot of astrologers worldwide, but we have, as astrologers today, so much more astronomical knowledge
yes,
since the first manned space flights, in what was it, 61? I mean, then Bra and Kepler and Newton would ever have. They didn't know about Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. That's remarkable
Right.
by itself. Or, well, they started knowing about the asteroids in the 1800s. But Chiron, they didn't, the planetoid Chiron, they didn't discover until, well, what's in the 70s, I think. So these are big bodies that are floating around our solar system with their particular programming. So
it's very interesting and always will be, because we will never know it all.
no,
But if you want to know a little more, join us again next time for Planetary Calendar. In the meantime, check us out at www.spaceandtime.com for our TV shows and astrologers chatting.